Hey, good morning guys, welcome to this week's episode.
It's an exciting one this week, or at least I'm super excited about it.
Erica's super excited because a while ago we actually bought a new trampoline.
Hi, we are Erica and Davy, an adventurous, slightly crazy couple who has taken on the challenge of restoring a hurricane-damaged catamaran. It isn't easy, but we are seeing progress from all our hard work. Subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. You must tell yourself, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I'm going to make it.
So here it is. It's been sat in storage for ages because we thought this would be done in the boatyard, and now we've decided to pull it out and have a go. So
I'm really happy that we didn't do it in the boatyard though, because it would have got super dirty.
Yeah.
It would have got overspray when we painted.
And they're very expensive.
So.
But the thing is, what we're going to do, I'm not sure if we're actually going to string it up today, but what we've decided to do, we might actually string it all up. It's just a little bit hot because we've got the Sahara dust here at the moment, and all the wind is basically, the trade winds have been killed off by the dust. So we'll give it a go, but what we definitely want to do is unpack it, lay it out and pin out the corners so that we can make sure that it fits.
Yeah. Fingers crossed it fits.
It was specially ordered for this boat, so it should fit. But,
so it came from a company called Loftnets. In France, I believe.
It's a French company. Yeah.
And they were fantastic. I mean, we ordered it during like one of the height of COVID.
It was the height of COVID,
so
but they still got it out to us.
They were closed down. It did take about 6 weeks after we placed the order for it to get to us. But they had one of the best reputations when I was researching on the Fontaine
this isn't
sites.
sponsored. They didn't send it for free or anything like that. We did actually have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But yes, we did a lot of research, and apparently this is one of the best nets you can have that lasts the longest, and also doesn't affect too much of the performance of the boat when you're going into wind. So, should we lay it out and see if it fits?
Let's give it a go.
All right.
So what's the plan?
So the plan is, what I'm thinking is that one, it's way too hot, but we're going to give this a go anyway. I'm thinking about pinning the four corners first of all. So we've got a little bit of leftover Dyneema that we used from the lifelines, and we've also got some cable ties just to try and, we're obviously going to leave the old net underneath for now, because then we've got something to work from. It'll be a nightmare, I reckon, to do it without a trampoline
so
on
you'll fall through.
Well, yeah, that means I could walk on it if I had to.
Yeah.
So we can always cut those lines. So, but I'm thinking, let's try and line up the corners so we get the stretch as close as we can. Because then we also, where's the other, we've got another line as well that came with the trampoline,
it's inside,
a Dyneema
75
line,
feet.
75 feet, but then that threads through from eyelet to eyelet and around the little toggles. So I think if we try and line this up the best we can first, that should give us a start that when we do this, because I've heard a lot of people say it's very difficult to tension a trampoline because it has to be super tight. But if you're going to try and tighten it and you haven't fixed the corners, of course you're going to pull it to one side, you get to the other side, and you're going to have a nightmare. Yeah. So I reckon we try and get at least the four corners, maybe an extra couple, two, maybe even about 8 fixings or something. Yeah. But these can always just be chopped off later. What do you reckon, Fox? You up for that?
What do you reckon, Fox? Hi.
She's like, I don't care as long as we go to town, go for a walk.
Fox, don't jump into the dinghy. Don't do it. But my ball's in the dinghy. My ball is in the dinghy. Look at that. Woohoo.
I knew.
It's exciting. Do you think it fits?
I reckon it's going to fit.
How are you going to cable tie it to those circle things?
I was thinking about doing a loop. Do a loop and then go from loop to loop, because then it's adjustable to a certain degree as well. Because that fits under there.
Okay. Sorry. It's the Sahara dust.
Erica's really good with allergies.
that side.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Well, I think we'll wait. I'm pretty sure it needs tightening, but then again, when we pull the front, maybe it will go slightly more forward and we'll have a different opinion.
It's gonna look so nice. It'll be so nice to like look at the stars. Alright, so we're trying to put the camera in the window so it stays out of the sun a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. What do you think, babe?
Ah, it might help.
It's just so hot today. It's a bit hot.
There's a little bit on the warm side. Give me back the trades. Give me the trade rigs.
So,
We have time.
we are happy to have the hard top so that we have some shade, but obviously it's not finished yet. We know, guys.
What, before someone jumps in and says you haven't finished it yet?
Yeah, we haven't painted it yet. We weren't ready to paint it because it wasn't sanded and fixed. And do you know? So in this country, throughout the time being on the hard, one of the major things that gave us problems was the hardtop, because technically the authorities were saying
being a new construction. But like, no, the boat used to have a hardtop. We were just replacing what was lost in a storm.
But we've had so many issues with officials wanting bribes. We've never paid the bribes, but
yeah, everyone always wanted a few extra bucks so they wouldn't talk about the hardtop because it was new.
yeah. So
Anyway,
that's
not
why
going back to that. We're going to the future. This is season 3.
That's why we've stopped kind of working on that for the moment, before someone jumps in. So guys, we've had a lot of comments of people saying, are we gonna get our mast and rigging? Are we gonna put the stick up? Are we gonna get that step done? Unfortunately, it is not in the budget right now. The time on the hard took way longer, took more money than we expected, so we do not have the budget to do the mast and rigging right now. Plus, in this country right here, there is not anything that's kind of suitable for a 36-foot catamaran. We do have a few friends who have hurricane damaged boats as well, but they're monohulls. So they have managed to find masts for them, but there isn't any for a small-ish catamaran. So we might have to wait until we save up so we can get a brand new one in Fort Lauderdale, or we'll see what happens. So no mast and rigging at the moment.
Do I need to be filmed laying down like this?
So
Alright guys, so we decided to take a little bit of a breather because it's super hot out there, and decided to actually think about, well, there probably comes some instructions with these trampolines as well. So instead of making it up ourselves, we've looked online and we've got the instructions. And we found out we've missed one major point in the beginning, which is quite good that we worked this out now because all we've done is fix the corners. But we are supposed to soak the net for 24 hours in cold water. Soaking in sweat for 24 hours is not difficult, but cold water is going to be the issue. So we're going to have to go to the bar in a bit. We're also waiting for water as well that's being delivered this afternoon. So once we got the water, we're going to chuck it in a massive bucket, let it soak overnight, and we're also going to go to the bar, get some ice to try and help keep the temperature down, and then so tomorrow afternoon we should be able to lace it on. But at least now we know that the net's going to fit, it's a good size, and now we've read the instructions, it might go on a bit better.
the trampoline we decided to hold off on.
We're holding off on that till we get a reply back from what's that, our mate Geoffrey in France, so that'll probably come through in the night, because we're not sure that we need to soak that type of trampoline. They sell a lot of different ones. This one basically, it's like plastic, PVC.
So is it really going to take on water?
It does. It's not supposed to absorb any water at all. So the only thing I can say with cold water that would do, it could help it because of the temperature. But by the time we've laid it out on deck and got 4 corners pinned, it's the same temperature as the rest of the boat, melting. So let's find out what old Geoffrey reckons. So we're going to play with some dog nets at the minute.
It's not easy.
This is harder than the trampoline.
Yeah, so it turns out dog netting is more difficult than trampolining. The clips we got that came with it, or we had to buy extra, they kind of dangle really low. So we have a bunch of cable ties as well, but we kind of want to lay it out so that it kind of, you don't want to stretch it too much, right?
Yeah, I want to try and find just so that the diamond pattern gets a bit more even.
Yeah.
And we've got the distance. We put a small string along the bottom because we haven't got any connecting points. This is all just an experiment.
We don't really want to drill holes into the deck every
Not
6
every
inches.
6 inches, no.
But then is it supposed to loop at the top?
Well, I'm going to use the cable ties, but I think I just want to get it
Kind of.
sort of roughly in the right position.
Yeah.
Because we did experiment slightly before, and we put cable ties, and we just had to spend the last 20 minutes cutting the cable ties off.
Yeah. It didn't quite work, did it?
No.
Davy's a bit of a perfectionist.
Sometimes.
That's better.
That's better. That's what I'm sort of thinking. I think if I can get that same sort of waviness, and then these can be pulled up with the cable ties.
Because there's not really any reason to have the dog netting if it's just flappy at the bottom, because then she can stick her face underneath and she could potentially fall overboard underneath. So you kind of want to make sure it's... But is that too stretched now? I'm going to give you a little bit extra. That looks better, even just giving you a little bit extra there. It's been so hot today.
Still is.
It's what?
At least it's gone a bit overcast.
Yeah, there's a bit of a breeze, but it's like 4 p.m. in the afternoon-ish. It's hot. So another job that we wanted to do while we've been on the floating dock is try and get the rub rail on, because it is slightly easier. Not quite, because you do have to screw it in, so trying to keep the boat pulled in nice and tight so you can do that was a little bit of a challenge. We still have to do the other side of the boat. That's definitely going to be more of an effort. We might have to spin the boat around on the dock so we can get that on, otherwise it'll have to be super calm so we can be in the dinghy to put it on.
Alrighty, so Loftnets have just come back to us. Fantastic service, like literally send an email, they come back to you really, really quickly. We were correct in thinking, I don't know if we put this on film actually, but I personally didn't think the PVC type of trampoline needed to be soaked, i.e. I don't think that will suck up any water anyway. But they came back to us and said, yes, we can ignore that step on their instructions. That's for the rope type of nettings that they have. So thanks again for them to get back to us so quickly. Customer service is amazing. So if you need a net, definitely give them a shout. Geoffrey is the name. Geoffrey, he's yeah, fantastic with customer service. So as I said again, not sponsored, but a great company.
Do anything to help, or is just a dyneema?
Could just turn the sun down a few notches. That would be great. I don't highly recommend, guys, if you're installing a new trampoline netting, don't do it in the Caribbean when it's no wind.
So you're taking the old one off at the same time that you're putting the new one on?
I'm not melting at all.
It's going to look so much nicer though.
Lovely when it's done. That is...
So a friend of ours, well, someone that we've been speaking to on Facebook, he said that it took him 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think Davy's going to last 3 hours?
Not a chance. I get a half installed trampoline.
Yeah. No, I'll take over halfway. You know, it's interesting when it'll be like along the front of the boat. That'll be the hardest one, I reckon.
Yeah, you can do that one.
Hypothetically, it should get easier as you go because the line will be shorter.
Yeah, line will get shorter. That's, as you said, the one there is going to be the...
So really, should that be the one that we should do before we take the other net off?
No. I'm actually putting the other net back on. I'm just putting it on top at the moment.
Cool.
So then I can still stand on it.
If we need to.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to clip
Look
it
at that!
Yeah, we can actually walk on it, guys.
It's not fully...
No, but we still have the old one underneath. And
so that's one of the biggest tips we got, was keep the
old one underneath while you do the job. But I'm going to have to cut as I go along the front because the little grommets that slide along on this one aren't in the right places. So I think I'm going to remove this strap that I put on. It was supposed to be stainless steel anyway. So I'm going to remove that so that I can maneuver back and then work my way along. Tension this one quite tight, and yeah, because we got already quite tight on this side, so I'm going to go as tight as I can on this one on the first pull. This is the most difficult one to adjust anyway, so otherwise we're definitely going in the right direction. But anyway, you need to put the camera down because I need your help.
So they say vitamin D is good for you. But how much? Oh. Can you fit there, babe? It's so white. It like reflects everything 10 times more than the old one.
The other one was brown.
The other one was broken. Goes to
that one.
Yep. Want me to try and feed that, or?
No, it doesn't really. I don't really want to put any more weight in it because I've been cutting the line.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to use the front bar, but it's bloody uncomfortable.
It's gonna come up so much more. So I don't know if you guys remember, but the old one, like, we didn't even really want to step on it because it was so like sketchy and it was broken and falling apart and it was just kind of gross. So this is definitely a safety factor as well. And I'm so excited for stargazing.
Alrighty, let's get this off. I reckon if we work from the middle, babe, if we start here, I'll go this way around, you go that way around. We've got to pull these ones off the top, let them drop. I've tied a small line onto the corner, so when this drops in the water we don't need to muck around with a dinghy. We should be able to pull it and throw it onto the floating dock.
I got my side off already.
Well, you've got to go all the way around.
Oh. Can you get it?
I got it. I had to keep going while you went to get the other camera because it felt like the line I attached it to was the old one, and we've cut it in a few places and it felt a bit baggy.
Well, no, it's better to be eco-friendly, right? We don't want to just throw that in the water.
We don't want that in the water.
Nice.
We're going to take that to the trash.
Look at that!
Actually, it's not going to the trash because Domingo, one of the local lads around here that does the help for the boats, he said he had use for that at his place. He's making something for the kids to play on, so we'll let that dry in the sun and he'll come and pick that up.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at this, babe. We have a trampoline. Woohoo! So it does need some more tensioning. That's for sure. I just haven't got around to it because today we're supposed to actually be moving to the mooring. So what I've done is I've set up our bridle and an extra safety line ready to go. So we've laid these out. Once we get out on the mooring, then we'll come back to tensioning this. But it's all perfectly safe. It just would be nice if it was slightly tighter. Happy days.
Look at that, guys! Woohoo! So thanks for watching this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed that.
We certainly did. Working in the sun here is so difficult, especially at the moment with the Sahara dust, which has basically wiped out the trade winds. So it's been a difficult couple of days, but the boat's looking so good. It's
so exciting. So anyways, thank you guys to all of our patrons. Thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for subscribing.
And if you haven't, get on with it.
So cheers, see you next week. Woo! It's so exciting, babe. I know it needs a bit tensioning, but...
I know, but we can work on that.
It's a hell of a lot safer than it used to be.